Welcome to The Wrap. I'm Wang. Joining me today to discuss the Redskins' 1917 win against the Tennessee Titans is Dan Steinberg. And Dan, finally the losing streak is over. They end a 4-game slide there. Redskins are 2-5 now, heading into a Monday night game against the Cowboys. A lot to get to today in our takeaways. And the first thing I thought of when I saw Colt McCoy walk in is here we go again with another quarterback controversy. And then, of course, on the first pass of the game from him, he throws a 7-yard touchdown to Garcon. Great play by Garcon, no question. And I guess someone had to get him the ball. I'm pretty sure that Kirk Cousins could probably deliver that same pass too. But here we are with a great game statistically from McCoy. And I'm just not mentally ready, Dan, for another quarterback controversy in this city. Given the history of what this town has gone through, I mean, I don't even know if that's going to be on the table going forward, but there are going to be some people who say, well, it's time to give Colt McCoy a chance because he looked pretty good in this game. Right? I mean,
I don't know what the contours of this controversy would be. I think Jay Gruden right after the game said he's not ready to name a starter for next Monday night. There's a question: could Robert Griffin III be ready again?
Yeah.
Could you go back to Kirk Cousins, who was your presumptive number 2 quarterback? Would you give McCoy a chance? I don't know that any of those options really elicits a lot of passion right now.
I mean, I'm not sure to want to give a guy who has 1 week of preparation as a starter the ball to go into Dallas to play on Monday night against a team that's really playing hot right now. I don't know if that's a great. But Kirk Cousins is obviously not the answer either. So
I think the easiest call is you let McCoy start 1 game, and then you have the bye week, and then you let RG3 come back and take his job again.
Yeah. Well, anyway, let's get to your
takeaway. Is actually, and they won the game. God bless them for doing that. I don't think this is a very well-coached football team right now, and maybe that's what you should expect with a first-year head coach. But they committed dumb penalties up and down the field. After the game, Jay Gruden said that interception, that Kirk Cousins has to be accountable for that. Well, how does he get accountable for that in practice? I guess benching him is the answer to that. But all the penalties, Deshaun Jackson trying like crazy to get a personal foul there at the end of the game when they're in field goal range. They've got a horrible intentional grounding to end the first half. They just look sloppy. They don't look well coached, and I don't know who you turn to for that besides Jay Gruden.
Well, that goes in the preparation. And I was at Redskins Park on Monday, and Jay Gruden said emphatically, we're not going to Colt McCoy. And then the next day, he completely changes his tune. And then today, at halftime, they say, well, it's going to be Kirk Cousins, and then Colt McCoy comes out. I mean, there's so much flip-flopping. It just seems to me like you're right. There's no order of what they're doing. You have no kind of understanding of a pattern of what they want to get done, right?
I totally agree with that. And, there were the 2 turnovers that were costly. They benefited by a huge break on that special teams turnover that they got, but they also had 3 more very near turnovers in the first half. These are things that, they're putting the ball on the field with regularity. It's not a thing that a good football team does.
And what's up with the running game? I mean, this is a Titans defense that came in ranked 9th worst against the run. They're giving up almost 130 yards a game. Alfred Morris carries 18 times for 54 yards. I mean, they get 100 yards as a team, but a lot of those were garbage time when Roy Halou was getting those runs where Tennessee was playing back. I mean, they just can't run the ball.
That's true. And under Mike Shanahan, even when they didn't have stars, they had Ryan Terrain running the ball, and he would pick up 100-yard games. They haven't been able to run the ball very consistently this year. I feel like we're being so negative for a team that just won. But
come on. They beat Tennessee, one of the 4 worst teams in the league, not including the Redskins, who are also in the conversation. But
studs and duds.
Studs and duds. My stud, I'm going special teams, and I'm going Kai Forbath. I know he didn't make a bunch of long field goals, but he did have 4 field goals. And by the way, all the red zone trips that the Redskins made were all field goals. That's another story altogether. But he kicks the game winner, and with as bad as the Redskins special teams has been, easily could have hit the upright. But he does what he's supposed to do, and they get a win. So I'm giving it to Kai Forbath. But as far as duds go, who do you got?
They also did say for Forbath, they said it was pretty windy out there.
Yeah,
too,
sure.
Whatever that's worth. My dud is actually going to be Kirk Cousins. And the most stand-up guy that you could find in the NFL, but man, he just cannot hold on to the football. It's been
it's all a lot of confidence too.
3 years of this now, but I think this year he's got in 6 games, parts of 6 games, he's got 11 turnovers, 9 interceptions, and 2 fumbles. For his career now, I think it's 14 games, and he's got 25 turnovers. You just can't do that. And the turnover right after they had just gotten the ball back, for him to just throw it right down the middle, stared the guy down the whole way, and delivered it right to the Tennessee linebacker. He doesn't have a future in this league if he can't hold on to the ball better.
Any chance they have going to upset Dallas in Dallas next week?
I think I'm a little bit higher on the Redskins than you are. So yeah, I'll say there's a 1 in 20 chance, something like that.
Okay, well, we'll discuss that next week.
Okay.
I'm Wang for Dan Steinberg. Thanks for watching The Wrap. We'll see you next time.